Okay, let's dive into a really powerful idea, one that kind of changes how you see everything. It comes from Nassim Nicholas Taleb's incredible book, The Black Swan, and it gets right to the heart of why history seems to be just one giant, game-changing surprise after another, and why we are so bad at predicting them.
So, to get our heads around this, Taleb tells a great little story. Picture a turkey. For 1,000 days straight, this turkey gets fed, it's looked after, life is good. From the turkey's point of view, every single day confirms its belief. Humans are friendly, and tomorrow will bring more food. The evidence is overwhelming.
For 1,000 days, that belief in a safe, predictable future just gets stronger and stronger. And then day 1001 rolls around. For the turkey, it's a complete catastrophe. Something that was totally impossible based on its model of the world. And that is the turkey's black swan.
That turkey problem is really the perfect entry point for what Taleb actually calls a black swan. It's his explanation for why history doesn't just flow smoothly. Instead, it lurches from one massive, unforeseen event to the next, and we're almost always caught completely by surprise. Now, the name itself comes from a pretty simple historical mistake. For, centuries, everyone in Europe just knew that all swans were white. It was an absolute fact built on thousands of years of observation. Whiteness wasn't just a characteristic of a swan, it was part of its very definition. And then, bam! Explorers get to Australia, and they see a black bird that is, for all intents and purposes, a swan. A single observation and centuries of proof become worthless. This shows what Taleb calls the asymmetry of knowledge. You see, 1,000,000 white swans can't definitively prove that all swans are white, but it only takes one single black swan to prove they're not.
So, a true black swan event has 3 specific traits. First, it's a total outlier. Nothing in the past leads you to expect it. Second, its impact is massive. It changes the game completely. And third, and this is the real psychological kicker, after it happens, we all start telling stories that make it seem like it was predictable all along. We rationalize it.
And once you start looking, you see them everywhere. World War I blowing up from what seemed like a small regional issue. The shocking collapse of the supposedly stable society in Lebanon. The 1987 stock market crash. And of course, the 2008 financial crisis. These weren't just speed dumps. They were events that totally remade the world, and you'd be hard-pressed to find any expert who actually saw them come. So that brings us to the really crucial question, right? If these things have such a huge impact, why are we, and let's be honest, especially our experts, so consistently blind to them? Well, Taleb says the fault isn't out there in the world, it's in here, in how our brains are wired. First up is something he calls the narrative fallacy. Our brains are basically story-making machines. We hate randomness and complexity. So we look at the messy, chaotic past and we weave these neat, clean stories to make it all make sense. This makes the world feel way more orderly and predictable than it actually is, because we just toss out the facts that don't fit our nice little tale.
Then you've got the ludic fallacy. Ludic comes from the Latin word for game. And this is the huge mistake that experts, especially in fields like economics, make all the time. They treat the wild, messy, real world like it's a casino game, with clean rules and odds you can calculate. But here's the thing, reality doesn't have a rule book.
And this contrast just nails the problem perfectly. On one side, you have the experts model, the bell curve world. Everything is neat, it clusters around the average, and those crazy outliers are just dismissed as statistical noise. But then you have the real world, the messy, complex world, where tiny events can spiral into massive consequences. And the outliers, well, the outliers are the things that actually write history.
So this leads us to the most important part. If we can't predict these huge, world-changing events, what are we supposed to do? Just throw our hands up and wait for the next disaster? Well, not exactly. Taleb's whole point isn't that we need to get better at predicting things. It's that we need to shift our entire mindset away from predicting and toward preparing. What does that look like? It means being skeptical of so-called expert forecasts. It means being humble and recognizing how little we actually know. It means actively looking for proof that we're wrong, not just proof that we're right. And most of all, it means building things, systems, portfolios, whatever, that are robust and can take a punch,
instead of fragile things that shatter at the first unexpected shock.
So, has the world actually caught on? Well, the results are kind of mixed. You can see that fields like statistics and even national security have started to take these ideas of randomness and extreme risk seriously. But ironically, Taleb argues that modern economics, the field that got hit square in the face by the 2008 Black Swan, has been the most resistant to change.
The real goal, as some smart leaders like Mervyn King, the former head of the Bank of England, have started to recognize, isn't to build a better crystal ball. The goal is to build a stronger ship, one that can handle the storms that you know, for a fact, you'll never see coming.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really crucial question. The idea of the Black Swan isn't just some interesting historical theory. It's a warning about the future. We know for sure that another one is coming. We just have no idea what it will be or when it will hit. So the only question that really matters is this: are we ready for it?